Hi guys, this episode I'm just gonna do I'm gonna go over my code for my Hangman thing. It was like an assignment in my comp sci class. And so I'm just gonna take you through how I did that. So let me share my screen. Okay. Hopefully you can see this, but here is just the simple code to start the game, and here is like my actual code. And this stuff, these four, that's for my final project, which I'm going to be doing a Punnett square. I haven't really finished it, but it's like this is kind of the graphic for it. And I'm still working on it. But here's the Hangman. We'll actually play it first so we can you can understand what it is. So welcome to the oops. Okay, that's not it actually. Right here. Okay. Here, there you go. Welcome to Hangman. Choose your difficulty. And so easy gives you 10 tries, medium gives you 7, and hard gives you 5. And actually I coded this a while ago, so I'm not going to remember a lot of the words. So let's try easy. And then do I know how to play? Let's just say no. And then it gives you the instructions, and then let's begin. So if I guess E, it tells me that E is not in the word and that I've used a try. But if I get the letter correct, maybe there's an A. Yeah, if I get it correct, then the tries do not move. And then every time you use a letter, it goes into your letters used, because if you try to enter something that you've already used, it doesn't let you do it again. I'm not gonna know what this is. Random. Okay, and so that means I won. So let me take you through my code. Okay, so first here is my array list of my word bank, kind of, and I just have a bunch of words here. And this here, hangmanWord, this method of hangmanWord, it chooses a random one with these lines. This one chooses a word randomly from the word bank. And then this section, it goes through each letter of the selected word and instead adds a dash. So it's a dash. So it's hidden from the actual game part of it. And then this is how you print the censored word. You go through each one and you just print it out with here word.get, the array. And then I use Thread.sleep. This entire thing is Thread.sleep, which delays the printing, which you probably saw in my demonstration throughout the thing, to just make it look a lot smoother. I guess it looks really cool when you delay the little dashes. And then here, this is where it begins, and it gives you the simple the instructions. It gets the user input for what they want to do, and then this is kind of like a safeguard. If they don't choose 1, 2, or 3, then it redirects the user if the input is invalid. For example, they put a 5, then it's going to prompt them again. Invalid, choose 1, easy, 2, medium, or 3, hard, and it just keeps asking them for a new input until they choose either 1, 2, or 3. And I do this throughout the entire code to make it more easier to, if you like accidentally put something in, you don't have to restart the entire program again. And it's just like, it's a lot more user-friendly that way. And here, if the choice 1, I just connect it to the top. If the choice equals 1, then they've chosen easy, and tries equals 10, and tries I put up here. So it goes throughout these things that I initialized up here are able to be used throughout the entire code without me having to reintroduce them throughout. So it just does that throughout for each choice. Here, 1 gives you 10 tries, 2 gives you 7, and 3 gives you 5 for hard. And then afterwards, do you know how to play? If they say there's another little catch right here, if they don't put 1 or 2, and then if it puts 2, then it starts the game and it goes to the method game, which I will talk about later on. And if not, then it gives the instructions for the game. And then it does the same thing. Then it says, let's begin, and it goes right here. It goes to the method game, which is right here. And for this, for this method, actually, I previously did a project for Wordle, the game Wordle. So it's kind of really similar. So I think, I don't remember since I did this a while ago, but I think I used some of those lines of code into this one, but I'll see. So here it gives you tries used up by the user, so you can keep track of them, like how I printed tries 1 out of 10 or whatever. So first it incorporates hangmanWord so that it chooses a random word. And then here, while tries is less than, while the used tries are less than the total tries, then it goes into this whole thing. Yeah, while the user still has more tries left, the following happens. And that's what that while loop was for. Thank God I commented this code actually, because it's not good practice to not code your work. So thank God for this one I actually did, because previously I have not been doing that, but it really helps, obviously. And it's really good for this episode that I commented it out. Here, the first guess is, I guess, prompted. And I do that by taking their guess with the scanner, scnr.next, .to uppercase, so it can match with our word bank, because as you may recall, all of our words are uppercase. So that just makes sure it can compare them like easily. Let me just do this. Okay. And there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but I guess I didn't know how to do it. So if the user's input is anything but a letter, then it asks it to put something in that is a letter so that it can actually go through the word and see if it's similar, if the user guess is in the actual word. So this is just kind of like another user thing. And here, while they're hold on, where is this? Yeah, where do I do this? Oh yeah, up here, sorry. Yeah, so this is the string used, which would be their used up letters, and right now it's empty. But every time they use a letter, here. Every time they use a letter, then I add it to the used string. And so while used contains your guess, then it says that you already guessed the letter and to try another one. And the reason this part of it, adding it to the actual list, comes after this part is because if you were to put it before, if the user guessed A, then it would put it in the list and you wouldn't be able to guess any letter. I don't know if that makes sense, but just try to think it through, I guess. And then it does it again because it prompts it here. This is for this part because it asks you to guess again. So now you have to do this part again to check if the input is a letter. And then it asks you, again. And then here, this actually took me a while to do because I just couldn't wrap my head around how to accurately check the parts of it. So we start off with this Boolean contain, which is false, and win, which is false. And this, let me see. Okay, yeah, so this part of it takes your guess. And if the correct word contains your guess, it goes through each separate letter. So if the word was apple and you guessed L, right? So it would go from A and then it checks if there's an L in A, which there isn't. So then it doesn't do anything. And so it goes to P, which also goes here, and P, which also goes here, and then finally the L would make contain equals true. I guess contain means if the word contains the guess. And it also sets the word to, like, the word, it sets that L to actually be an L instead of a dash by doing this with like your arrays and all that. And then next, if it doesn't contain it at all, then it adds it to the tries. Yeah, here. Then it adds tries to your thing, because if you get a false letter, then that deducts from your tries, just like Hangman. Except it doesn't have a graphic, but that's what it does. Okay, so after you do your guessing, if it's there or if it isn't, then it prints the word again after guessing it. And then this is another Thread.sleep thing, which just delays to make it do that like little dash thing. And then it increases your tries, like I said, and then it gives you incorrect tries used, and then the tries that you used out of your total tries, which never changes. And then letters used, because as you recall, this whole string is added to every time you guess a letter, so then it prints your letters used. And then next, if the word does contain that letter, if contain equals true, then it prints the word again. This is basically a deviation of what we just talked about, except this time the letter actually changes. The L is actually there instead of the dash. An apple, by the way, we're still talking about an apple. Yeah, so this part prints it again with the delay so that it does the slow printing of the dashes. And then this time it says correct, tries used, letters used. And for this one, okay, so it sees if all the letters are filled. What does that mean? Oh, okay. So if you guess APPLE, then that's what that means, I guess. If all of the letters are filled, it checks with incrementing in a for loop. Yeah, okay. So if every single letter is not this dash anymore, then when is true, which yeah. What is that called? It's like never mind. Yeah, I set it equal to false up here, when. So when is true here. So if when is true, then congratulations, you win. The word was, and then the correct word, and it gets you out of this loop. So then you're done. But if your word still has dashes, then when would equal false, and it would break, and it would go all the way back to the beginning where it would check another letter that you guessed. This time you guessed like an F, which isn't in apple. So then you'd get when equals false, and you do it again until you get it correctly. And when is false, or yeah, when is false for all of the amount of tries, then it exits the whole loop, and then it gives you the correct word. You ran out of tries, and better luck next time. Because as you might have forgotten, this whole loop is, see this? That's where it leaves. This whole thing is when your tries are less than your total tries. So when you reach 10 tries, it is no longer less than 10. 10 is no longer less than 10, so it exits. And that's when you were given this message. Oops. So, okay, let's play again. Because I'm not gonna lie, though, right after I finished this code, I was like, it was so fun to do this because I forget my words all the time. So, okay, let's do hard. We know how to play. And E, I've heard E is like the most common letter in the English alphabet, apparently. So E. Okay. Okay, this is actually hard. Mountain. Okay, I would not have guessed that. One more. Let's make it easy. Oops, okay. E. Oh, meiosis. I remember this one, meiosis. Okay, great. One more. Sorry. This is really fun. P and two S's. What would go in between S, I blank S? Did I do N already? I have no clue what this is. This is actually embarrassing. Oh, physics, physics. Okay, I got it. I want a longer word. We're getting really short ones. Oh, that's actually probably due to the fact that I copy and pasted my Wordle bank and my Wordle was 7 letters. So that's probably why all of these are 7-ish letters. But let's do a fun one if I can get to it. Okay. Oops. E at the end. PP. App. No. Appropriate. Okay, that's an odd word. Appro. Appro. Oh, I guess not actually. Appro. Approximate. Okay, yeah, that's odd. Okay, well, that's my code. Thank you for watching and happy coding, I guess. Bye, LRNSTEM.